Hey guys, what's up? It's Riley, and today's video is all about my transition 11 years later of my social transition, my medical transition for the past 5.5 years, my top surgery. I've had top surgery 3.5 years ago nearly. So I wanted to kind of talk over all of those things because I haven't really done a full update in a hot minute. Ignore the really creased up shirt. I couldn't be bothered to iron today. So you get what you're given. You might hear some background noise as well. I have my window open because it's quite hot right now. And next door neighbours are quite loud through the walls because you can hear them. Make that very clear if you do hear anything in the background. I'll try my best to kind of cut out what I can with. That's why I'm using my main mic today, because I feel like the microphones I had before, the little ones that you clip on, they're just not as clear and they're quite quiet. So I thought I'd big out the big boy today and do a video through my PC rather than on my phone. Disclaimers out of the way. Let's get to like my social transition after the past 11 years. I came out in March of 2015, so we're looking at 11 years now, and a lot has changed in 11 years for sure. What I want to do is kind of like put some photos up, like this was me pre-transition. I'm hoping I have the photos to put here, but I'm sure I do have some lovely old ones in my collection somewhere. So that was me pre-transition before I come out, and then I came out socially to my friendship group. If you watch my coming out video you would know that, but just kind of a brief history. I came out to my friendship group first, and then I came out to my mum, and then I came out to my dad, and then I came out to my family. I kind of knew that I wanted to transition. I didn't know it was a thing. I didn't have the words for how I felt. I come across a Lions Fears video on Facebook of all things. I didn't come across it on YouTube. I came across it on Facebook, and I was just amazed that that's even possible, because that is something that I would have done a long time ago if I knew. And it kind of just put that is possible into my head, and it just made me realise that I always was like depressed, didn't quite know why, and I never knew why I felt the way I did, the way I hated myself the way I did, and then all kind of clicked into place, and I was like, and then it got scary. It was exciting to discover that was a thing, that being trans was a thing, and people do live their life happily being trans. And I just thought, wow, this is also exciting but also really scary. Where do I start? What do I do? Because obviously Alliance Sphere is American, I'm from the UK. Things are very different here. Obviously we have private healthcare, but a lot of it is funded under the NHS. And yeah, so I didn't even know where to start. My friends knew, I hadn't told my parents yet, and I was just like, I really wanted to get them to know what is going on in my life too, because I was so stressed out, so anxious, so depressed. I was having panic attacks all the time because I just needed to get it off my chest, and it just felt like there was never a right time, and there's never a right time to come out. There's always something going on in someone else's life that you feel like, nah, I'll wait until that's done. Trust me, just come out. If you can, if it's safe, and you've got the support, you know, that you think you will have the support. I came out to my friends for that reason, so I knew I had the support to fall back on if my family didn't really take it very well. And I was quite young as well. I was just turning 17 at that point, so I was 16 at the time when I came out, turning 17. So it was a big deal because like everything was changing. I didn't know what I wanted in life. I was going through college, and I didn't know if I wanted to go to college. I went to college for art and design, and it didn't feel right. I didn't feel like I was me. I felt like I was kind of living in a shell and kind of seeing it from above, if that makes sense. Like I was constantly looking at myself. I felt like I was floating above myself most of the time, and I got to learn that was disassociating. A whole other thing that I didn't even know was a thing, but it is a thing. And these are things that I learned. I did so much research before I came out because I was like, I need to make sure that is exactly what I want. You know, it's a lot. It's a whole change of my whole life. Once you open that door, do you want to step through it and have to go through so much? And I was like, I didn't really have to question it much. I was just scared of how long it was going to be, how painful it will be, how everyone else's perception of me is going to change, and all that kind of stuff, and the paperwork, the medical side of everything, and how do I even start was like the biggest thing when I came out. But moving on from coming out, I then found an amazing group in my local area, the youth group that was an LGBTQ plus space. And I went to that because a friend of mine was also non-binary at the time, and they were like, oh, do you want to come to this with me? And I was like, do you know what? I wouldn't normally say yes because I'm quite a quiet person, but I was like, it'll be good. And I had them with me to kind of help me kind of feel a bit more controlled about the situation. So I went there and I had the best time ever. I met some amazing other trans people. I met some amazing just people in general that happened to not be trans, and a lot of people in the community in the local area of similar age to me. It was amazing, and it really just changed everything. Like, we had people that were older that were like in the medical stage, and they kind of helped me figure out how I start. So then it was the whole, because I was under 18, I had to go to the child mental health service, which was absolute shit. I've got videos on here. If I can put a card, I'll put a card up here of my whole experience with CAMS. They had said they had sent off my referral. They hadn't sent off my referral. Went to my GP because I was nearing 18 at this point. They sent it off for me, and then I just got put on a wait list, and it took a very long time, as you can tell, from 2015 all the way up to 2021. So it was 6 years later, and I was finally on T. So it was a long old wait, and it is unfortunately a long old wait still to this day, and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon, because there's so many people on the waiting list for everything. It's kind of hard to predict what it's going to be like for future reference, and it only just gets longer because more and more people are feeling more confident to come out. But I think with all the things that are going on in the UK right now, that's going to it's going to put people off of even trying to come forward to get the help that they need, and they're going to suffer mental health. Everything is just going to be really hard from here on out, and I'm kind of really sad for like a lot of trans youth too, and people that just haven't really got to the point where they're aware of who they are at the moment. Or those future trans people to come out, you know, I'm scared of that for them. It's hard already, and these individuals don't even know yet that they are going to go through this too. We at the stage, 6 years I took those 6 years to kind of, nothing was going to happen until it was time. So I had to really learn how to push through the waiting, not put my life on hold, because it felt like my life was on hold, trying to kind of convince myself this is not it. This is not how life's always going to be. Things are going to change. Once they change, it will be a quick change, that kind of stuff. And it was trying to be positive about the situation. So I kind of got stuck into work. I got into really just trying to love what I have now, and how that will be finding my space where I feel comfortable, where is comfortable. So many different things that you learn about yourself, and then socializing is different. You know, socializing as a man is very different. Getting used to going to the men's toilets, all that kind of stuff was stuff that I was going through within these 6 years, where it made it, when I started T, so much easier because I've already done a lot of the social transition before I even got to the medical. But it's really weird to explain how much it's changed, even from those days to being on T, to how much has changed in perception of me too. Obviously, I wasn't very much passing pre-T. I could get away with it unless I opened my mouth. You know, I wore a lot of clothes that were considered very masculine. I didn't want to push myself to the point where I'm looking too feminine and dysphoria and all that. Like, I was trying to find me within clothing. I bought so many clothes. I used to buy like hundreds and hundreds of pounds of clothes a month just to find my style, and I was able to afford it, which was lucky at the time, you know. And I was just trying to figure out who I was, you know. I didn't start T until, you know, I was like, I'm 28 now. Oh god, that's horrible to say. I'm 28 now, and you know, I started T 5.5 years ago. So yeah, I was about 23 at the time. So I'd gone through 18 to 21, which a lot of people don't understand is a lot of 18 to 21 is really finding who you are, and like even a baseline of who you are. You go through lots of things. You date, you going out partying, you're doing all these things, like you're just really just enjoying life, but you're also like trying to figure out what you want to do in your future, what you want your career to do, what you want to do for a career, and all that kind of stuff. Like, things change all the time, and it's kind of like, it's a really important stage of 18 to 21. It's where you have the most development into becoming an adult. Like, I used to say, oh, but 18, you're an adult. Like, treat me like an adult. But really, looking back on it now, I feel like an old person when I say this. But as a 28-year-old, and I look back at me then, yeah, I had a job, like a very stable income. I was out enjoying myself, having a great social life, surrounded by loads of friends. And I thought, I am being an adult, you know? But it's only until like recent years that I felt like, no, I'm really adulting now. Back then I was having so much fun and just like being so blasé and carefree that now I look back on it, I'm like, wow, that is actually a crazy difference. And people don't see that a lot in life, because from 21 to 23, so much was changing in the world. So much of me was changing. I wasn't really, like 21 to 23, it just felt different. And then obviously because I hadn't had top surgery, it just felt like I just couldn't find anything that fit me right. I was constantly fluctuating with weight. I was either really skinny or really big, and then there was so much going on, and like like in your brain, and like my mental health. I was surrounded by good people. I was surrounded by so much support. After all the issues I had with like my dad's side of the family, they kind of dissipated over the years and have got better, which is really important. Like, things can change. I'm not saying they will, but they can. For different people change. They kind of understand a bit more. You give them what they need to kind of see it. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't believe it until they see it. So like when I started tea, that's when people started realizing that this is happening. But seeing all that, they kind of, when I started tea and things were changing, they could finally see it that was happening. So they kind of, their opinion changed on the situation. I don't know how to explain it, but it's kind of how it happened. Yeah, I got to a point where things were pretty good, and then I got the letter from the gender clinic saying, here's your first appointment, we need to do all these tests, and Then it just, like, after so long, it felt like so long for waiting to get to that point. It shot by at that point to me starting tea. Obviously at the time it feels like, it's taking forever, I just want to start now. But honestly, it just shot by, like starting tea. As soon as I started tea in January, we had February, and then March came along and the whole world shut down. I started tea in 2021, 2020. I keep thinking, going back into the video, I'll probably have to do like a correction. I started tea in 2021. No, I didn't. I started tea in 2020. So I would have been, 22 or whatever. It's hard to remember now. This is what I'm saying. I'm getting so far into my transition now that I kind of forget dates, which is really bad, actually. And that was the year where the world stood still. Everything was on lockdown in March. Started in January, the end of January. I had February, like my first month on tea was during February time. Then the end of March comes along, boom, the world's on lockdown. At the same time, it didn't feel so intense at that moment because I'd been working my ass off at my old job in Wetherspoons. So I was busy all the time. Like, I was so tired, so exhausted, mentally exhausted, physically exhausted. I was doing like 50-hour weeks. I was so tired at this point. And it just got to the point where it was like, I could do with this break. It's fine. As time went on and we didn't come back from the pandemic, I was transitioning during the pandemic. So luckily I was on gel at this point. It wasn't too bad. Like, I didn't have to go to the doctors to get shots, which is kind of like a godsend at that point that I did start on gel. So I was able, at that point, you can still go shopping, you can still go get your pharmacy, like you get your tablets, your medication, that kind of stuff. So you were still able to do that, which was really important at the time, because obviously otherwise I would have then had to come off of tea. It was so strange, because I wasn't as physically fit, because I wasn't running around doing 50 hours a week on my feet. Like, I'd be doing like 10 to 20,000 steps a day, depending on how long my shift was. Sometimes I'd have like 40,000 steps in a day. I'm going from that to barely even doing 2,000 steps a day, and that was only if I went shopping or I went out on a walk somewhere on my own. I wasn't really physically getting out, and tea makes you hungry, hot, and the other H that I'm not going to say out loud right now. There's so many things that are completely different when you start tea, and it kind of put me in I kind of was depressed at the same time. The only thing that kept me going is all the changes. The changes of tea made everything worth it. Being able to see it happening, physically hearing the difference, seeing the differences, watching every one facial hair sprout, things like that, my body changing. But because my body was changing and I wasn't physically active, I kind of put on a lot of weight and I couldn't shift it because I wasn't busy. And then I got really like dysphoric about how I looked because it felt like everything was going to my hips. And I was like, everything's big, bloated up here. And like my face has filled out over the years as well. Like, even now, it's not really gone back to what my face looked like before. I had quite a small head with I never had a jawline or anything. I didn't expect tea to give me that, I'm not being selfish and asking for miracles. I was hoping that the chubby cheeks would kind of go down a little bit, but no, I'm still here. It's the Welsh in me. I'll always have chubby cheeks. But now, like, looking back on it, it was probably a good thing. It was a very good thing, because at that time, I was going through my voice cracks. I was changing so much to the point when I actually returned back to work. Like, I went back to work and even the regulars didn't even recognise me because I'd changed so much within that time. And obviously I had a perm as well. A lot of things had changed with me. My voice, my body, you know, like all the changes of tea on top of like people not seeing me for a long time. Like, people didn't recognise me until I like was like actually speaking to them, and they recognised me from the tattoos and stuff. That's the only reason they knew it was me. It was good, it was bad, there was some ugly, there was like some really good times, and it was quite nice to be able to do it in private, and it was just, you know, a whole different situation. I have a video on this as well, of transitioning during a global pandemic. There's literally the title. If you want to watch it, I kind of talk a lot more about it because I found it a really hard time, but now talking about it now, I can see the benefits of it too. But it was a lot of negative as well at that time. Then I had top surgery, super happy. Like, I kept having dreams, like, before, like, whilst I was waiting for my referral, I just kept having dreams where I was topless, I had the best looking chest ever, and it was a whole nother thing. Like, it was so sad to wake up and not have that. And it was like my one biggest problem is when I was on T, everything else was changing and that was not. And like, my chest was always a big thing of dysphoria for me. Like, I hated it. I had a big chest. It wasn't a small chest, you know, and it just really bugged me. And I hated wearing oversized clothes all the time. I used to wear them all the time just to kind of cover my binder and stuff. And the binders just weren't binding anymore. You're not supposed to, but I was double binding sometimes at work because I felt so dysphoric. And I'd be working for like 12 hours some days, and it's really not good for you. You should always have not a really tight fitting binder and stuff, but every company I went to there was just no good binder for me at the time. And I went to GC2B, and theirs just were good, but they just weren't tight enough. And I had Underworks for years. That was my go-to binder for a long time, was Underworks, because it was so strong. But the problem is, the short ones would roll up, and then the long ones would also roll up, and or the short ones were not big enough for like how big my chest was, and it just like hurt under your armpits. And honestly, even after a year after top surgery, because I wore a binder every day, even walking around my house I'd wear a binder. I hated not wearing a binder. Like, I just had permanent indentations in my skin, and they're only just really going away, you know, as time's gone on. And it's just like crazy how much of a difference it makes to your body as well. And like, my breathing is so much better than it was when I was binding. Like, I was so used to having to be like short breaths rather than long deep breaths, because binding, it restricts your, like, the expansion of your lungs. And it's crazy how much of a difference all these things can make. So then obviously top surgery come around, and I fucking loved every second of it. What I haven't really said about top surgery is I struggled with the scars, because I just had people looking at me weirdly all the time when I was on holiday, and I just didn't want people asking questions. Like, I'm proud of everything I've gone through with my body. I was proud of my scars, but I was not enjoying the looks. I was not enjoying like the look of what's going on there, you know. And I've always been a bit more cautious on the side of like, I wouldn't be topless here in the UK, because one, I'm just not that type of person that would be topless out in public in the UK, because I just feel like it just feels wrong. I can in my back garden, but not out. I was like, okay, I'm happy about top surgery, and I feel better about everything, and like when it comes to my chest. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna get tattoos. So I have. I've had my scars tattooed. I don't think I've actually shown them on here. So let me move my microphone. So I got that done, and honestly, I have like no anxiety about being topless anywhere now. On holiday, I feel so comfortable just walking around topless, and it, like, even though I don't feel like my body is my best right now, it is so much better than what it was, and it just feels like proudly show off my scars because they're not as visible. Like, there is, you can still see it. I didn't want to fully get rid of it, like the sides and stuff. It's not fully covered, but it's the majority of it's covered. So then when people are staring at me now, because of my tattoo and not because of my scars, and it just feels good mentally, you know. The difference is like time takes. So like, I took photos of all my facial hair growth over the years. So what I might do is like a little reel of it, of photos with some music in the background of like how much my beard has changed in the years. And then I had the whole voice changes. Everything has changed. Like, you can see that out of all my previous videos of my transition timelines, basically. So much has changed with my voice. And I'm just more comfortable with using my voice now. I can't sing. I've never probably been able to sing anyway. So that hasn't really bothered me. But everything's, like, when I do, like, sing in the shower or just sing whilst I'm tidying up or whatever, it's so monotone to me. Like, I don't hear any pitch differences or anything like that. I can hear pitch changes. Like, I've always been very, like, sensitive to, like, vocals and stuff like that in music, and I can tell when a pitch has changed. And I've always been a big nerd for music, as you will see from my vinyl collection video, which I have so many more now. I haven't brought any in a while. My last one, what was my last vinyl I brought? I guess it's Harry Styles' new album. And do you know what? I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it, I haven't even listened to it. I'm recording this on the 12th of June, and I still haven't even listened to anything on the whole album. Like, I've only took it out to sleeve it all up, and I got it on vinyl, and I have the pink version, and I haven't even spun it yet. I haven't heard the best of reviews. Obviously, I will listen to an album, but I want my opinion to be my opinion and my opinion only, in the sense of I'm not going to listen to other people, you know. I love all of his other albums. I have all of his other albums on vinyl. Aperture, and you know, some of the songs are good, they're catchy, but it's new to me. Like, I had the same thing with Camila Cabello's newest album, which has been out for a while now, CXOXO. It was a grower on me. I didn't like the sound of it at first, and then I absolutely love it now. Same with Demi Lovato's new album, It's Not That Deep. It was a grower on me because, like, hyper pop kind of dance pop, you know, that kind of stuff. I love pop music, I do, but it was just so much more like of a different take on like the artists that I listen to. But all of the artists are changing, you know, their things when it comes to music. I would like to make some videos about like my opinions on albums and stuff and my favourite songs off of certain albums. I might do that actually as my next video. Probably go through all Demi's like discography and stuff and say what are my favourite songs from what album and what album's my favourite album, or my kind of ranked list of albums kind of thing. I'll do that in another video. Put, you know, like my voice comparison at the end of this video, so, and you can listen to it there. But my voice has changed a lot, as you can imagine. Like, we're deep into tea now, like we're 6 years in. It still have a lot of changes. My T levels are super high at the moment. My T level is like 49. I'm very high on the scale of testosterone, but my estrogen is also super high. I was on libido shots every 12 weeks. I'm now on libido shots every 11 weeks, just to kind of build up my T levels. And they're definitely up. And most gender clinics will not let you stay on this level because it is considered high and it's out of range. However, all the effects that I was getting, like the side effects I was getting, like I was still getting cramps every month. I was having so many issues with like my skin. My skin is really bad still. Like, don't get me wrong, like as you would have seen with my chest, I still have lots of acne on my chest. I have acne on my face, but it's not as bad right now as it used to be. Basically supposed to take antibiotics for 3 years constantly to kind of keep it at bay, but I've not been taking them because they make me feel super ill, and like I only take them, like I'll build up and take them for a little while and then I'll come off of them again because it hurts my stomach taking too many tablets. Acne sucks. It hasn't got better. I know for some people it does get better, but with my levels being all over the place, it kind of doesn't help. I use as much as I can to kind of keep my skin clean, but I don't go over the board with products because a lot of products affect my skin because I have really sensitive skin too. And just making sure I've got clean clothes, clean sheets, and I'm washing my face all the time. In hot weather, it sucks having acne because as soon as you get a little bit sweaty, say goodbye to your face card this summer because it's gone. But stuff like that, like it's all a load of difference. Like my hair has changed, like even the texture of it. You can see how much thinner is at the front, but it's still thick. Like my hair is still very thick. I'm also like growing my hair out at the moment, so the back of it is a lot longer. I'm trying to kind of go for like a bit of a messy kind of, not a mullet because I don't want it to be really long, but like a messy bit at the back with like a taper around the side. But I'm currently waiting to grow it all out because I'm going to Barcelona next month for a long weekend with my mum and my sister. A little getaway vacation for Barcelona from like the 17th of July onwards. So we're gonna go away, have some fun in Barcelona, and drink wine, try out all the cuisine, do all your touristy stuff, and that's what we're gonna do in Barcelona. So I'm trying to grow my hair out so I can get it cut at the barbers because I don't have a haircut. Because as you would have seen by previous video, I don't have a job right now. Well, I haven't had a job right now, and I literally start a new job next week, and I'm really excited to get back to work. My hand's all fixed. I have no issues with my hand. Thank God for that injection. It has honestly helped so much that it no longer hurts. It's good. I'm happy. I'm fixed. I'm good, and I'm ready to get back to work now. And it's been so hard. Like, I've had financial issues, like, because I just haven't been able to earn money. I've been on universal credits for like the past couple of months, and for some reason I'm getting money taken off of me every month for no reason, and I've tried to get hold of universal credits, tried to get hold of DWP, and I just can't get hold of anyone. They keep throwing me from one place to the other, and I'm so fed up. I'm surviving, but I have a lot of financial bills to pay, and like basically the money I get from universal credits just covers my bills. It doesn't even cover my rent in my house right now, so you know, my mum's not charging me rent for now. This holiday I'm going on, my mum has paid for, and I've just got to pay for everything else when we get there. And that I've had so much pressure on me to get a job before we go so I can afford to buy food and drink whilst we're out there. I literally can't do a lot right now, so you know, there's been a lot of pressure on that. But luckily I have a new job. I'm not going to disclose where it is right now. I want to see how things go first before I'll start announcing things of where I'm working and what I'm doing. The least I'll give you is it's another management position. However, it's only weekends and like 2 days in a week. So I'm going to have so much more time for me and my partner, having a social life and balance, really, which is going to be so, but it's going to be so much better than my previous role and my previous job. I will say it now, like, I'm going to be excited to do it. It's something it's very similar to my old job, but it's not as full on as my old job. And I'm not the only manager, there's multiple managers, so I'm the weekend manager, the weekend venue manager. Obviously I was an operations manager at my last job, so really this is like a walk in the park. It's the thing I can do. I did it for 5 years. Yeah, I'm really excited to get back to work too, and then hopefully things will just slowly get better in life. Like, things have been a bit rough for me in their sense of life right now, but things always get better. There's always positives. Right now I'm looking at the positives, really excited. Like, I'm so lucky to have had the support of my partner during this time. Like, honestly, she has been amazing and just really helped out with like just keeping me in a positive place and not a negative place. Like, if I didn't have her in my life right now, I think I'd be in a completely different spot. She's just not let that happen, and she's been so great to me. I really appreciate it, and I know she watches these videos. Yeah, thank you. And I'm just like ready to kind of start this new chapter in my life too. I want to move out. We want to move out together. I want to start a life together. So I need to get rolling, really. And, you know, turning 28 last month, kind of even more so. I'm like, come on, let's get going. Let's hit 30 in our stride, you know? And I just want life to just be not better in a sense. I'm happy, but also I want things to be a bit more progressed in life. I'm not going to say easy, because we know life ain't easy, and I'll be asking for the wrong thing in life if I thought things were going to be easy. Definitely not. I'm so excited to kind of start this new chapter. We've got bottom surgery coming up, maybe. I've got so many good things in the works that I'm so excited about, and I've just got so much energy for the future right now, and I'm just super excited to kind of get going and just let's do this. So excited to kind of get everything rolling. So thank you for watching this video. I'm sorry it's so rambly. So this will be my voice comparison for the outro of this video today, because if you didn't watch until the end, then you missed out on it, but I did mention it earlier in the video. Here's my voice comparison, and I hope any questions, or you have any like questions about, you know, transitioning and anything like that, like, as someone that I guess is becoming an elder trans guy because I've been doing it for so long. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if there's like something you want me to talk about. I won't do political stuff. I've made that very clear on this channel. I do not do political because I'd rather just not talk about it. Purely because this space is not all for that. This is a space for people to feel safe, and we're not talking about political things. I will slightly mention them in the video and not elaborate on that. And take care. Enjoy this voice comparison. Hey guys, what's up? It's Riley. Hi guys, what's up? It's Riley. Hey guys, what's up? It's Riley, and this is my voice 8 weeks on T. Hey guys, what's up? It's Riley, and this is my 3 months on T. Hey guys, what's up? It's Riley, and this is my 4 months on T update. Hey guys, what's up? It's Riley, and this is my 5 months on T update. Hey guys, what's up? It's Riley. Hey guys, what's up? It's Riley, and this is my 9 months on T update. Hey guys, what's up? It's Riley. Hey guys, what's up? It's Riley, and this is my 1 year on T. Hey guys, what's up? It's Riley.